I have no other authority except him who made me, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. Since this people draw near me with their mouth, says the Eternal, honoring me with their lips, while their hearts are far remote, since their religion is a mockery, a mere tradition learned by rote, Isaiah 29:13. Are we not trying to rearrange the world, to rearrange its values while maintaining our own separation in nationalism, religious dogma, superstition, hatred, and acquisitiveness? Is it not necessary that we eliminate first these causes within ourselves that produce conflict and misery? If we seek truth, we must first abandon those values that are based upon ill will, possessiveness, greed, superstition. We must first of all decline to be guided by politicians, priests, and economists with their endless plans for so-called peace which leads us into destruction. The fact remains that we have made them our leaders through ignorance of true values. Now we have to become deeply aware of the cause within ourselves, and the responsibility remains with us to remove the cause. This alone is the solution to all conflict. First of all, we must understand the cause, then the reality that is behind all can be realized. This alone can bring peace and happiness. In reality alone is there enduring happiness. In reality alone is there creative being. Without this inward treasure, the outward can have little value to mankind. The organization of law and economic planning will ever defeat its own purpose. But when the awareness of the real is established, the outer and the inner will cease to be separated, for we will understand that the outer is but the expression of the inner. Our religion will no longer be lip service but the true expression of reality, the one and only creative being. There are many who say they practice brotherly love, yet condone organized murder. We have to understand our contradictions to understand ourselves. Without self-knowledge, brotherly love is impossible. We must think out every thought feeling, then we will understand what is in the mind. You cannot practice brotherly love if you are caught up in envy, jealousy, hate, antagonism, differing creeds, mass murder and conflict. Brotherly love only comes when all these things are cleared away through understanding oneself. Try to understand every thought feeling, pursue it and it will yield its meaning. Only in this way can the mind be freed from conflict. Then we will create, in cooperation with the divine principle, a true democracy. When the individual becomes aware that this cooperation is possible, then the mind-heart becomes passively still to receive the creative reality that is ever present. This is renewal. Renewal does not come from birth or death, the past or the future. There is no renewal in the world of opposites, only freedom from past and future brings renewal, for there can be no understanding except in the present. But if the present is burdened with the memory, regrets and hatreds of yesterday, there can be no renewal in the present. Our past successes or failures are the experiences we have. This must not hinder the use of our creative ability now, or the way in which we use it. Just as the growth of corn reveals itself while man sleeps, so are our thoughts revealed, and there is nothing strange about this. The great thing in man's life is to understand himself. Only when this is accomplished can pure thinking and pure action come into being. The seeds we sow in divine mind grow apace and produce hundredfold for our benefit. The only authority you should recognize and the only command you allow is that of the creative principle of the present within, which nothing can change. Beliefs will change, people will change, but the presence never. In this way you increase your joy through your creative ability in the presence that is ever present. It is like the rock in the ocean, the waves beat upon it but it remains unmoved. Most people are afraid of the evil they are always looking for and are blinded to great divine light of the presence. Some become wrapped up in the evil which they make a reality, thus so many become childishly ignorant, which leads to pettiness and narrowness. This does not give true experience, but rather a retreat from life itself. You must enter the arena of life with confidence, understanding that the creative principle is within. You are the navigator that sails on the sea of life and are not affected by the waves or the surface unrest. With this understanding you are no longer caught up in external values, but are able to navigate the ocean of life with true creative ability, dissolving all that hinders your true expression. Your experiences must only be channels that lead to the vast ocean of life in which you become one. Then open your sails and let the breath of God direct you. Not my will but thine be done. The person who does not know himself and tries to convince others of the truth is a hypocrite, but the person who has the truth in however small a degree, like the smallest of all seeds, will grow to become a great tree and all will shelter under its branches. This is the state of mind that is ready for creative ideas. It understands that the things that are seen are but the product of that which is unseen. Jesus said, as the people who listen to the word and take it in bearing fruit at the rate of 30, 60, and 100-fold. Mark 4. Be not overcome with evil but overcome evil with good. This means directing our creative ability into constructive channels producing that which is acceptable to Him, and that which is acceptable to Him must be of benefit to all, for He is the all. If we look to the mechanism of our bodies, we will see that the brain, through the nervous system, is connected with every part of the body and controls all voluntary and involuntary activities. This mechanism responds to our thoughts and emotions, therefore there is a consciousness that traverses the whole system, outpicturing what we think and feel. We are told that we are the microcosm of the great macrocosm. Therefore what we think and feel must affect everyone some way or another. If we can discern what we are doing, we will not create conditions that adversely affect ourselves and others. The intelligence that built the body, brain, and nervous system, built it for its own self-expression. If we would remember this when we feel and think, it will be a guide to our thoughts, words, and actions. All visible forms are the result of the great invisible creative energy revealing the creative principle in action. With a little understanding we can cooperate with the great divine creative principle which created us in its own likeness. The use of this creative ability, has only been dimly understood. The greatest possibilities, more wonderful than man has dared to imagine, can be enjoyed through the conscious use of this creative ability, with understanding. Then let us be mindful of the fact that the seeds we sow in fertile soil will be produced by the creative principle in the exact form of the seed itself, sometimes 30, sometimes 60, and sometimes 100-fold. Even greater things than these shall ye do. The walls of Jericho, ignorance, are being broken down by the truth of the creative power within, and with the rhythm of all in united understanding, the walls of ignorance will crumble. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but God. Let the mind be in you which was also in Christ Jesus, who, being in the form of God, thought it not robbery to be equal with God. Philippians 2:5-6. The meaning of these words shows us that, if the individual consciousness through discovering all that which is relative, good and evil will unite with the universal consciousness that makes the individual a conscious creator, all is possible to that individual who understands this relationship. This is the faith Jesus had when He said, "Know ye not I am in the Father and the Father is in me." Faith built upon an outside agency will be full of fear and doubt, but a faith that is built upon this rock of truth will stand against all that assails it. Therefore, true faith comes from beyond the mind, for what is in the mind is double. Fear and faith are side by side. When one is up, the other is down, and vice versa. Therefore the thoughts created under these conditions are equally produced. Thus conflict arises in the mind that is double. The double-minded creature that he is, he need not think he will get anything from the Lord. There is no validity if you merely accept my statement, for such acceptance will just become another illusion of the ego. You must know for yourself, directly. The truth of yourself cannot be realized through another, however great he may be, and there is no authority that can reveal it. Truth can only be uncovered through your own understanding, and understanding comes only through self-knowledge. We have all the same problem, but each one must find the answer himself. Therefore, my words to you are only a means to direct you to the uncovering of the self and all its ways. Only when this is seen and understood can there be freedom from illusion and conflict. If you are intense in your search, you will find the right answer. Surely, each one can become aware of his own prejudices, greed, intolerance, superstitions, antagonism, beliefs, cravings, etc., in which he is caught up. You can only understand another when you have understood yourself. Is it not so that according to your own pleasures and pains, your prejudices, your beliefs, your desires, your passing fancies, your antagonisms, that your thought is shaped and controlled? You cannot build truth upon such a weak and changing foundation. If you are prejudiced, limited, you will find according to your conditioning. How to approach this great problem is all important, and what is important is first to understand the self. You will know what is your state of consciousness by your attitude towards others. If you live in reality, you will translate reality into your daily living, and you know best yourself how far you are from fulfilling your mission on earth. What I yield is better than the best of gold, what I bring in is better than rare silver. I deal right fairly, justly do I act, enriching those who love me, and filling their stores full. Proverbs 8, 19-21, Moffat. Benediction. O all-prevailing one, from within my consciousness thou hast removed the cloud of doubt from my mind-heart. My mind is made free with thy ever-presence, and my soul purified with thy wholeness. Now I recognize thee alone. Thou alone art my teacher, my guide, my friend, my creative being. O blessed one, thank thee for showing me the way to thee within. My peace and my love remain with you. Yours very sincerely, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne.